know I've talked about this many times, but I think it's that important that people understand this. Money in the bank. If you have money in the bank, it is not yours, it's the bank's. Think of it as you're lending it to them, they're borrowing it from you. And in that case, whatever they do with it, you have no control of. If they lose it, you have no control of that. If they become insolvent, they close down, you have no control of that. It is not yours anymore. You have given that to them. You want to view it as hold on to it or whatever you may view it as, but the thing is, it is now theirs. They'll do with what they want with it. You will get it back if they're able to give it back to you or if they want to give it back to you. Just a crude example I have. So remember when you were in elementary school and either you or one of your friends or something was playing with a toy, whether that be a ball or a little electronic thing, any kind of toy, Rubik's Cube, whatever, and you're playing with it and the teacher tells you to put it on your desk, and you did, and then you came out with it again, and the next thing you know is she took it away and she put it in her desk. Now, you didn't give that to her, but because you didn't listen, she took that from you and put it in her desk. Now, you're saying that's still your item, but your teacher has it. She's holding on to it. So she gives it back to you the next day, and you come back to school, and you go through this whole process again, get it taken away from you again. Now, she puts a time restraint on it. You won't get it back for a week, so on and so forth. So this goes on a few times, and then the last time it gets taken away because you brought it out, did whatever she said you weren't supposed to do with it, then she says, I'm taking it away until you'll get it back at the end of the school year. All right, so that item is still your item, you think, and she thinks that the item she took from you is in her possession now. Now it's under her control. So the end of the school year comes, she misplaces it or can't find it, or for whatever reason you're out sick, you don't get it back, all is lost. So are you expecting that come the next school year? Maybe. You may be expecting that come the next school year. Next school year starts, you get in contact with a teacher that was now a grade below what you are currently in, and she says, oh, that's gone, I could not find that, I looked for it and it's gone. Sorry. So you view that as your item, even though your teacher had possession of it and your teacher had it. So I want to just make this clear. I mean, think of it sort of as you put money in the bank. It is no longer yours. It is theirs. You might think it's yours. They might say it's yours, but in reality, it's not yours anymore. It is theirs. They will do with what they want with it. Like I've used this analogy before. It's like, loaning some money to a friend or family member. Once they get that, let's say it's $2,000, once they get that, once you loan that to them, they borrow it from you, it is no longer yours. That $2,000, it is now theirs. You have no more control of it. You can't say what they can do with it, what they can spend it on, when they can spend it. Maybe you've had an agreement when you're supposed to be paid back all or portions, but there's no real things that are going to happen if that doesn't happen. So that is now their money. If your friendship is lost, they move away, something else happens dramatically, they're no longer with us, whatever, stuff happens, it's gone. You're not getting that back. View it as that. So money in the bank is no longer yours. It is theirs. I just want to say that because knowing that people are still keeping a ton of their funds, their currency, what people relay as money, in the bank, it's going to be coming to a point where it's happened in other countries already, where your accounts will be freezed. The whole system will be frozen. Everyone's account, will have a freeze on them, and you will not be allowed to get at it Or if you want to withdraw, you'll be limited, maybe $50 a day or $40 a day. Or maybe it's $200 a week. Or maybe it's you can't withdraw more than, $200 a month. Why? I don't know. They don't have to explain that to you. The fact of the matter is, it is now in the bank's possession. It is now the bank's. You will get it if they allow you to get it back. So, I'm saying this, is the other option, cash under your mattress, cash buried in your backyard, maybe? Or is it with assets, purchasing assets, gold, silver, land, other stuff I've talked about? Maybe. I'm just trying to say this because, in my opinion, one of the worst places you can store your money, your cash, your currency, one of the worst, if not the worst, is at the bank, in the bank. It's no longer yours. So think about that. And I just want to show a little example of a couple of things. Talk about inflation a little more. I know I've talked about this some, and I like to talk about it a lot more in depth. But so in 1973, 2 ounces of silver, so 2 ounces of silver, had a value close to this. 2 ounces of silver was roughly $5. So you have 2 ounces of silver, about $5 equivalent. All right? So that was 1973. Now, today, 2 ounces of silver, 2 ounces of these, 2 ounces of these, so 2 of these, ounces of silver, is equivalent to 1 of these. Why? What happened? I'm going to go through gold with it. So 1973, that same year, 1 of these, 1 ounce of gold, was worth roughly 1 of these. All right? 1 of these, 1 of these. All right? That was 1973. That was 1973, 2 of these, 1 of these. 1973. All right? So now today, 1 of these, or 2 of these, I should say, like I said, is a value of 1 of these. 2 of these equals 1 of these. All right? And then today, 1 of these is a value of roughly 18 of these. 18 of these. 1 of these, 18. 18 of these. Why? So if you would have been holding 1 of these in 1973, you could have bought a whole ton of stuff with it. Purchased a whole lot of things with 1 of these. All right? Because 2 ounces of silver is equal to 1 of these. That's it. So, what does that tell you? Well, people say inflation, and it's normal. I mean, you need to have inflation because the population is growing. All that other bull crap you're fed through government schooling and fed through, the television, which is nothing but a cover. It's just basically blanketing over people and trying to get them not to see the real theft that is happening. Taxation, but beyond taxation, the hidden tax is inflation, and that's straight up theft. I mean, straight to the point, theft. Why? 1 of these in 1973 was worth roughly $2.50. And 1 of these in 1973 was roughly $100. Why? Today, about $1,800 and about $25, maybe a little more. It fluctuates. $26. Why? Where did that go? So if you would have held on to if you would have had back then, and you would have said, okay, it's 1973, I can either hold on to an ounce of gold, or I can hold on to one of these. Which one? Well, I held on to one of these, let's say. My friend held on to one of these, all right? $100, 1973. Now, who do you think made out in that deal? Today, this is one from 1973. I've been hanging on, we'll say since 1973, all right? Now today, this is worth almost $1,800. Today, this is my friend's $100 bill from 1973. What is it worth today? Well, it's worth $100. But what can $100 buy you today? It can buy you a lot more in 73. Today, it can buy you a lot less. Why? Inflation. Who benefits from inflation? You and I don't. No one else I know and ever have come in contact with has and does. The people who benefit are the people who are making the rules, the people who are in charge of it. Because they don't even skim, they just write out, it's theft. They just steal that money. So all those percentages that inflation's happening, all that stuff, all those percentages that your dollars are losing value every year, every month, every week, every hour, all those percentages aren't going to you. They're going to the people in charge, the people making the rules, the people causing the inflation. They're benefiting. They're getting 2% more in value of everything. They're getting 2% more assets. You're getting 2% more in XYZ, and you're getting 2% less and more. It all depends on how bad the inflation is. And right now, in my opinion, I know I've talked about hyperinflation. In my opinion, we are in the very beginning of hyperinflation. You're not feeling it because it takes a little bit. I mean, you're seeing the prices. You're feeling that, but that's not hyperinflation. That's inflation. But it's right out there, and when people start talking on TV about it, they're always telling you after the fact. They're telling you 6 months, 9 months after it's already started, because people are unaware. They're like, well, we should watch out now because we're being told we need to watch out. That's when it's already too late. Usually. Right now, because they've kept gold and silver prices down so bad, and they're continuing to do it because that's the only way they get away from this farce, this fiat currency, this Ponzi scheme, is if they keep those rates down as much as they can, and they're doing the best they can right now by all this currency creation, all this money creation. So I'm just saying this because you got to do what you got to do. But in my opinion, it's always best to make sure you have assets that are going to hold value and hold your wealth. And with that, you want something to protect that with. Guns and ammo. Straight up guns and ammo. And guns aren't worth a damn, excuse my language, if you don't have ammunition. So ammunition, in my opinion, is even more important than having guns. Because one gun is great. You just have to have tons of ammunition. Because a gun without ammunition is worthless. It's like a pen without ink. So, as always, thank you for watching. Oh, and on that note, as always, you want to make sure you have food, water. You want to make sure you have some sort of shelter. You want to make sure you have some people you trust, some sort of community base, that kind of stuff. Just make sure whatever's best for you and your family, you're always doing. That's what needs to be done, especially at this junction. And if you are able to, I would do what you can now to get out there and try to get ahead of this, in front of this hyperinflation that is knocking on the door. And in my opinion, it's here and it's started. It just hasn't begun to become hyper yet. So, thanks for watching. Stay vigilant. Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your health.